Hello everyone. How are we today? Thank you for joining me. Hopefully everyone's having a lovely day. I've had a rather fun day. Interesting day? I don't know. Getting started with coffee again. But we're going to be quickly moving on to making tequila lime chicken. Hi, Nan Reader. Let's throw the menu back up there. But tequila lime chicken. Gonna then fry it, do sort of like nuggets of chicken fried up. After I've marinated them with the tequila and lime, maybe some soy, a little ginger. And then we'll turn that sauce, the marinating liquid, into a sauce by thickening it later on. And the chicken I will bread and flour and some seasoning, fry that up. Gonna roast some radishes with some bacon and some cilantro. Gonna make some lime and cilantro rice. Gonna work that jalapeno into tonight's dish too. And lastly, since it's apparently National Chinese Almond Cookie Day, we're making some Chinese almond cookies. I filtered and cleaned the oil from last use, and yeah. Thank you for joining in. Got a boss level going on in Stream Raiders today. Hey Trigger, howdy. How's your life going today, Trigger? How's the ambulance life? I think I saw something on Twitter, Instagram, social somewhere. You'd gotten yourself a ride now. Bumpy. Bad shocks on those things, or how bumpy? I can see other definitions for bumpy there. I just don't want to elaborate. Oof. Those are some nice shifts there. So at least you're... I mean, my boss always used to tell me when I was first starting was, hey, you work all day, you didn't spend any money. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's probably a common thing with that job, unfortunately. Yeah, nursing homes are not fun. Went a little heavier with the cream today. Not really on purpose, it's just how it worked. Stop grumbling, stomach. I've been doing pretty well. I mean, I had the vaccine. The vaccine side effects hit me pretty hard. But otherwise, I've been pretty good. And that's now should be over now. Otherwise, not much else to report. I mean, get to go see family here soon, which is great. I haven't seen them since April last year, or even earlier than April last year. Johnson & Johnson. So one and done. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, some people are worried about having that one over the other ones, but it was actually tested against more stuff than the other ones, so sort of glad that it actually works against everything. And hello there, Miss Lisa Face. That's a new icon. And I don't know why that's... I thought I had changed that from going across the entire full screen. Oh, there now seems to be a very rare effect with one of them. Was it the AstraZeneca one? I don't know which one it is for sure. Nice, Miss Lisa Face. So you have the one with the potential, slight potential of blood clotting issue, I think it is. And then one of them, of the two spaced out of ones, got like a 90 or 95% rating for COVID on the original strain. And then Johnson & Johnson, as I know it, got closer to, I think it was 66, but it was tested against two of the newer variants as well. And now we have the San Franciscan / Indian variant out there. It did hit me pretty hard, and from what most people have said, it's the worst one for side effects too. But I mean, I had one night where I was sort of like getting chills and got upset stomach and wasn't all that great. But I didn't really feel bad that day. Beyond that, I had one day where I felt the day after I got it, I felt sore pretty much all day and was really tired. I was basically like knocked out that day. But beyond that, nice, Miss Lisa Face. Congrats. Yeah, Obe. Yeah, it's a really small, but it's in the news right now, which is really why I was bringing it up. And I didn't even really have a choice trigger. They don't tell, at least the standard here is they don't tell you which one you're getting. I mean, they're giving it to you for free. And so you don't get to find out until you show up. And then if you don't want that particular one, you have to actually refuse it and wait for them to give you another one and hope that it's different when you show up that time. What are we getting started with? We're gonna butcher up our chicken. got these leftover chicken thighs and legs. I'm sort of surprised that they're having you work without having had one. I'm going to give these both a rinse. Chopping this down into little bits, so I'm not being super careful about being clean and perfect with my butchery. Just trying to get it done. Miss Lisa face settling right back in with the word scramble now that it's back. Apparently what happened with the word scramble, if you hadn't heard, was they updated a bunch of things with the bot, and the word scramble and all the games, for that matter, were part of that. And they didn't rebuild in the ability, even though it wasn't that hard to change, but the ability for the games to be played for free. Because it's supposed to be the way it's originally set up is someone in chat initiates it with a bet, and then everyone else has to join in with that bet, rather than the way I have it set up where the bot is just starting the game. Actually, I'm just going to get rid of all this. Yeah, they're just basically... Actually, you reminded me, though, I gotta get butter out for that. This chicken's been around for a minute, so I'm being a little bit more careful with how I'm dealing with it. As far as cleanliness. I need butter to warm up to room temp for these, because they're my next project after I get the chicken marinating. How many of these is this gonna make, though? Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. But they're cookies made half with almond flour, half with regular good old AP flour, and additionally are garnished with a slivered almond on top, maybe a little sugar in the raw, or icing sugar or something along that line, something with a nice big grain, so it looks good when it's baked. Okay, before I get back into that, coffee time. You know, I think maybe I should take this chicken and use that to stir up my coffee. I think that'll add some good flavor. What do you guys think? Miss Lisa Face? I mean, we can light poach. Tonight's exercise is sort of showing you how to turn two legs and thighs into, if you want to make it into multiple dinners here. Multiple dinners. Small pieces for our chicken tonight, because not only are we going to marinate this and want this to marinate quickly because, well, I'm marinating in the middle of a stream. If you want to marinate this and let this sit in the fridge for a couple hours ahead of time, that would be ideal. Oh, adding tequila to that coffee would be a horrible plan for me. That's a surefire case for a headache tomorrow. I don't know how much tequila I even have. I mean, I know I have enough for like a shot in here with the chicken, but I don't even know if I have enough to go beyond that. I mean, I've done margaritas twice now on stream, I think. Who knows what else I've used it for. I'd much rather use the rum or Myers rum or maybe even the Grand Marnier. Little orange in there. It's a light blend of coffee, so it's not one of those light blends that's flowery and compared to tea. There are light coffees that are that way, but this is more like Wheaties in a cup in my thoughts as far as flavor. I mean, there's some cream in there, obviously, but that was a pretty light roast to begin with. Make sure and wash up our knife now. Lime, cilantro, soy, little jalapeno, some ginger. Might as well throw a garlic clove in there. And tequila. Move this off to the side. Gonna use both of those tonight. This one's a little prettier, so we'll save that one for garnish. Or at least half of it for garnish. And I'm realizing I've done all this without you seeing what I'm doing, really. Just in time for me to knock my board out of place. Have to let me know what you get, Miss Lisa Face. Brandy and champagne. I hope you don't waste tons of money on champagne. There's perfectly acceptable sparklings, perfectly acceptable Proseccos out there. You just like the bubbly. I understand that. I like bubbly too. Save the rest of that for, oh, who knows. Thank you for that follow, Fifi Bean. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a lovely time. It's a good plan. So, skin and all, just grind in this little knob of ginger into this. Yeah, you can usually find... There's some really decent Proseccos that are cheapies. Not sure where here is. Do you hail from the UK as... Oh, Utah? I don't know why... Well... If you're talking wine US versus Europe, yeah, there's a huge markup on wine as it comes into the US. But... well... Utah? You do have some heavy religious areas in Utah that may have issues with alcohol. Rinse this off too. That was quick. We're also building all of our flavors for our sauce that's going on the chicken here, too, if you're not realizing that. Onion powder. Cayenne. Enjoy, Obi. I hope you have a great night. Hopefully you weren't completely sugared up by that impressive dessert you put in the Discord. Let's do our battle. Oops. Let's see if we can... that isn't what I wanted to do at all. Dope. Oh well. Didn't even get the haste one when I wanted to switch it out for something other than haste. But I don't think we're going to get this. I think we're going to have to do another try at this one. Yeah. Boo. See how we do in 30 minutes, and hopefully I can get the spell right next time. Soy sauce and tequila. Tequila. Oh, I still got a little tequila left here. And a little bit left there. I'm using Hornitos. Don't really like the cork on this one. It's designed to hold in very well, but it's cork. Cork falls apart very easy. I'm very worried that this is going to fall apart on me. Because you notice the angle on that. Let's add all of our chicken into that. Actually, this might have been a good map for me to put a turret on. I don't think I've used one of those before. Actually, I don't know if that's in my captain account or if it's in my player account. Let's look at my army here. I have artillery. Should have used that tonight for that. If we have to go at it a third time, that's what I'll do. Because it looks like everything sort of rushes the center in this map. Make sure we get that all mixed in there. And we'll clean our cutting board. Get rid of the chicken guts for the rest of the evening. So Miss Lisa Face, if you're still lurking around there, you noticed the bad advice, but did you notice the other new things in that menu? There's a couple new things in there as of today in the channel points menu. There's a couple of things that disappeared too. Move this out of drip shot of that cutting board. We're almost through our coffee. I'm almost through my coffee. I'm actually feeling remarkably relaxed today. Normally I'm all anxious and worried about doing something wrong. So I'm going to squeeze out most of the air of this bag. I'm not going to worry about like liquid sealing it. And we'll put that in the fridge for a little while. While we make some cookies. 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 That's tight cork. Doesn't fit well. First we need to make some almond flour. So I'm going to throw the rest of my skinned nuts in the blender. We got some other over here that I didn't skin. Need a couple left to sliver for our topping. So hopefully this will be enough. Sorry about the noise. Okay. So we have our ground almonds taking the place of true almond flour. So I'm just going to call that enough. We're just going to hope that's the right amount. Pretty sure I just about nailed that. This is going to confirm it though. Yeah, that's a bit more than I want. Oh well. Actually, that's pretty much right on. I was cleaning this up because I want this. Use this. Okay. So we got our still pretty solid butter. I'm going to give this a moment in the microwave. Hey, Lexi. Working on the almond cookies right now. I've already got the chicken marinated. Well, hopefully your drink's pretty damn good then. 'Cause I expect this meal to be amazing. May not be the well, it'll be pretty too. It won't be showstopper pretty, but it'll be pretty. That ain't gonna do it. New bag of sugar. Nice. Yeah, the things they're doing with flavors these days is a little bit... Wow. I'm thinking about all those flavored seltzers we have now, whether they're alcoholic or not. The flavors that they're getting just out of aromas is quite impressive. I'm not going to have time to this month, but yeah, now I can maybe actually go out and visit a restaurant or two, or a bar for once. It's been forever. They just opened up indoor dining here in Sonoma County. We just reached what by California standards is orange level. Apparently we're below 2% positivity in the county. Even as we have the whole new virus found in San Francisco, and apparently the new virus is, I sort of hate saying this, but apparently the new one is now targeting younger populations. At least from the news article I was reading earlier today, compared to the original strains being much more actually sort of like midlife focused, it seemed. Yep. Let's get rid of my mug so I don't mess up my pretty mug. Just remove that from the whole scenario here. Okay, so we got our sugar and butter creamed. Let's add our vanilla. Is there going to be vanilla? Yeah, there is. No, it's almond extract. I don't have almond extract. We got almond flour in there. I think we're going to rely on the almond flour in there. I'm not going to put any extract in there. I am going to put a pinch of salt in there. We're going to add our eggs now. Gonna need eggs again soon. Down to my last 4 here. Oh, I can't count. Well, now I'm down to my last 4. Mostly focusing on whipping up the eggs a little bit here first to begin with. Now let's start mixing all of it in there. Okay, so we got our butter in there, we got our eggs in there, we got our sugar in there. We're going to need to add our baking soda. Baking soda and then baking flour. Yeah, I'm doubling this. I like them poofy. Poofy! I want a little extra leavening if I can. I think that's a half teaspoon was a bit small for a batch this large. I was thinking I was going to have to wait months. I was thinking like it was going to be like October for me. Like the original plans for California were general population were out in October, which yeah, I don't know if they're really to general population or if, I don't know. I think I sort of lucked out. California has been going pretty nuts with vaccinating, where governor trying to say we're going to be screaming out of this and business-wise, trying to get as many votes as he can out of this when people wanted to kick him out. People probably still do want to kick him out. So there's our flour, our AP flour. I'm going to add in all that almond as well. I'm going to switch to something a little more heavy duty than that. Fork to do this. Yep. Lots of people in California. And more people are moving out than are. It's still growing, even though we have more people moving out than it's growing by. Let's see, what's our oven temp? this recipe. .325, the universal cookie temperature. Bottle. We shall go to battle. See if we can survive it this time. Let's see. Uh-oh. Not looking good. Ooh. We'll see how we do. Been a rough map. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I can't really sliver these well. I'm not going to run them over a mandolin. I'm not going to do it with my knife. I guess I just gotta see if I can have some of them. The almonds are going to be our garnish for our cookies, since these are almond cookies. But you can buy slivered almonds. I just had whole almonds here and didn't think to go and buy separate ones. Should be able to get quite a few cookies out of this, just as them being halves. Welcome in, Suki. How you doing this evening? If they want to be difficult, I'm not even bothering. I'm trying to be safe and careful about this, but this is sort of a risky way to be opening these. Got my fingers basically against the blade here. That's probably enough to get us going here, though. Dough spreads pretty easily. It's nice, soft, malleable dough. Works easily. Oh yeah, this is how they do it in all the restaurants and stuff. It's they're all different portion sizes too, so if you want to do math, you can actually figure out the sizes. When you buy these, there's usually a number printed there, and it's how many scoops out of. This one's a 30. I don't know if you can sort of see it there. Yeah. And that gives you, I think this is about 2 ounces. That's got too much of a shape to it too. I want something flat that's not going to stick to. It's got a ridge on the bottom too. Ooh, those might work. The ramekin might work. Yeah, those got a flat bottom. Make sure it's clean. Getting the ramekin out here with a nice flat bottom to it. Oh shoot! Welcome, Louie. Yeah, stay. I don't want to have to peel these all off of this. Thank you for that follow. I don't see why not. You have people streaming blacksmithing and making knives on stream. I don't see why you can't stream sharpening them. I forget the name of it, but I've seen several streamers out there making knives, so I don't see why you can't sharpen them. Use the last of this box here. Just a light sprinkle of sugar on the raw on the top, or some, as I said before, some icing sugar or something with some grains to it, and makes it just a little bit of a crunch and a little textural. Interesting. Nope, we're doing the cookies first. I got the chicken marinating. The rice is actually probably next year. But I gotta make another pan of these. Thank you, they're turning out pretty well, yeah. I like how the dough turned out. I wish I had some slivered almonds rather than just halves, though. This is roughly half almond flour, half AP flour. And I made the so-called almond flour by grinding almonds in my blender. So it's... I call it sort of almond flour because it's going to have more oil in it this way. Typically when you buy commercial almond flour, it's flour that's already been pressed for its oil. So you have the leftover solids that are easy to turn into flour into other things. That or it's almonds that they want to get rid of. I'm actually thinking I'm going to try oiling this up a little bit. That was too much oil, but... wipe the majority of that off. Hopefully this doesn't stick now. Yeah. No, and then it sticks. It's stuck anyways. Regular bowl. anything sort of flat. I was actually sort of looking for something glass might have been done, might have worked a little bit better. If I was using this instead of my fingers, this might work a little bit better too. Nope. Definitely nope. It's not flat, that's why. It's concave. That or my blade's not flat. Could be the blade's not flat either. Nope, that's concave. It depends on how much bread you're making and how consistent you want to be. I don't really usually bother temping my water as long as it's nice and warm. But that's just me as a home cook. I'm not trying to pump out 100 loaves that look the same as yesterday's. Use that same paper towel with a little oil on it. Hopefully this will not stick. Almost worked. Of course, this is adding some oil to the party. We'll have to see if the oiled ones on this tray are different flavored than these ones. I mean, like I said, if you're into professional baking, you're doing a ton of it, you're going to want to get all of that down, whether how your yeast acts, at what temperatures, at what humidity you have that day, all that sort of stuff. And I say your yeast because it's what yeast you're using all the time. Actually, I take that back. Some bakeries may be using multiple strains of yeast these days. Besides just sourdough and basic bread yeast. No, the reason that you really want the temp up there around 100 is you want to make that yeast comfortable. You want to make it be warm and inviting. It's sort of like a 90 degrees, 100 degrees is just about perfect for yeast to do its thing. Oh, nice, Fifi. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's Food and Drink Month here on Twitch, so we got a lot of people doing cooking streams right now. We got a lot of people doing more streams like myself. I'm doing 5 a week right now, when normally I do 3 a week. I'm going to go ahead and throw all of these in there. give them 13 minutes and take a look and see how they're doing. We got the dough for it, so I'll do a third tray too. Don't have the rack in the oven though, so we'll have to do a second bake. Don't know if we're even going to get all that in there. That's probably 3. No, it's just 1 short. I got rid of the paper. It wasn't helping that much anyways. Some of these I'm going a little thinner, some of them I'm going a little thicker. This is another thing that's going to be inaccurate if you're doing a ton of them. Let's see, what is our menu tonight? Oh, that's not gonna work. Never mind. Got pizza dough in the fridge for tomorrow. Like I said, 5 days. We're gonna be doing pizza again tomorrow. Could be on the shorter end of things. I'm gonna have to make sauce again, and I'm gonna have to. I haven't even decided on what I want to make, but I got the dough. I actually noticed that local supermarket of mine actually has frozen dough balls now. They didn't used to do that. So next. We need to get going on our bacon for our radishes next. So I lied about doing the rice next. We're doing bacon next. Gonna slice up the last of that bacon I got out of the freezer. Nice! I generally do what's not a true proper pizza sauce, especially this time of year when the tomatoes are junk. I mean, we're maybe I'll have to look. Maybe on the edge of getting some early tomatoes at the farmers markets, but again, this is well, for anyone new in here, I butchered pretty much a whole pig here on stream. Not slaughtered, butchered last summer. And this is the last of that bacon that's been frozen. No, we'll just do that as a whole piece. Couple big pieces in there. Oh well. Getting all sorts of sheet trays dirty tonight. Might have to take a short break here tonight because we're going to have to go through 2 batches of cookies here and our bacon before we get into doing much else in our cooking. You're going to have to raise the temp on the oven after we cook the bacon too. I still want to cut this in half. It doesn't want to cut in half, but I want to cut it in half. But the pizza sauce that I typically do is in general, when it's not high-end tomato time, is I'll do a roasted tomato sauce, which is I'll take about 10 Romas, slice them in half, quarter them, roast them until we get, roasty tomatoes, because we want some of that char, we want some of that burn in there, give that flavor to that whole sauce, and then I'll blend that with some good quality organic tomato puree, and season it with some dried oregano, a little basil. I need to get more oregano. Salt, pepper, MSG. Just throw it on the stove and let it cook until you're ready to use it. Though with pizza, it's sort of a time crunch thing when it comes to the sauce, because you want to cook it, but you also don't want it hot to put it on that dough. You want it room temperature or cold. Actually, I'm going to toss this. Also, for anyone new in here, we like MSG in my stream. Ah, the emotes didn't work. Oh well. Clean this off. And so now we're basically waiting on the oven for a little bit here. I mean, I guess I can get things started for the rice, but I don't want to start cooking it just yet. How we looking on our battle? We getting close? Everyone got their units on the field for that boss level? See if we can actually beat it this time. Hey, I didn't even know what time we had left. I was just thinking it had been a minute. Yep, I do and we also often have, I've got a couple bottles here. I do cheap supermarket wine a lot of the time with dinners, but I'm not doing that tonight. And so for our dinner tonight, we have this. Fridays and Sundays, year round, I do 3 days a week. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Fridays and Sundays, I do certain national holidays, fun things to do, what I feel like doing for dinner. Wednesdays, I do ingredient challenges. And so if you join in on the Discord, you'll have to wait until after the stream for me to give everyone permissions into the server. But I have a weekly vote here. For last week was eel with the winner. This week we have breadfruit versus chocolate covered potato chips. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find breadfruit. So this is the first time I've come up with an ingredient that I don't know that I'm going to be able to get. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to find breadfruit to use. But I've been doing this for 26, 27, something like that weeks. And I've done all sorts of past ingredients here, past dinners. And so the Wednesday challenge is whichever ingredient wins, I have to use for both dinner and dessert. So both sweet and savory. So I'm going to have to somehow work out chocolate potato chips as a savory dish item. Or breadfruit, which, like I said, I'm worried I'm not even going to be able to find that. We may end up with chocolate-covered potato chips either way. But how do we get ingredients here? We get ingredients here from ingredient suggestions channel just below it, where you can go ahead and vote by clicking and adding a reaction to each of these. Just have to click the chef logo there if you want to add your vote to each one of these. And the ones with the most votes go into the weekly vote. And otherwise I start from the top down, which is the oldest first. Also in the Discord, you have your typical walk-in chat. I do a lot of Formula 1 watching and chatting, so we have that channel there. Introductions for everyone to introduce themselves, the other community channels, and food pics, where I post all my food pictures, and we have Obe, who was in here earlier, posting his dessert and dinner earlier. Pita burgers, and donuts with melted ice cream. This was the eel dinner from Wednesday. Cookies turned out alright with eel in them. And then these are all past dinner pictures from me and other people in the chat. So anyways, if anyone wants to join into Discord, I will give you permissions after the stream. Let's go pull these cookies out. They're probably, certainly done now. Ooh, those are looking pretty good. Tempted to see if I want to go a little bit longer with them. Let's give them another 2 minutes in there. Now that I've thoroughly cooled down the oven, let's give them actually 4 minutes. The bottom rack had a little bit of browning to the sides and bottom. I want to see if we can't get a little bit more color on them. That's Wednesdays. So every Wednesday we have a challenge ingredient. And then since April this month is Food and Drink Month on Twitch, we have streamers being featured on the front page all month. They just did a little fun thing on Instagram of all the food and drink streamers. This month I'm doing 5 days a week. So on top of the normal 3 days, I'm doing Taco Tuesdays and pizza on Saturdays. And this is until end of the month. I'm taking better part of a week off, and then I'll be back full time. Taking the time off to go and see family for the first time since in over a year. So I think that's a little bit justified. Okay, rice. While we're waiting for the oven, mince up the rest of this jalapeno. Nice! It is something that I will say that you sort of have to go into it and not do it these days if you're going to be cooking at home, because you can save a lot of money, but like a lot of things, you got to buy things in bulk, and if you're going to buy things in bulk, you got to be using them. Like, I'm buying large bags of flour these days. I'm buying my sugar in bulk these days. I bought a half a pig last summer. Or I bought a whole pig last summer, minus the head and offal. How much does that bag weigh? Which band do I need? I need this band. Nice. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of... I don't have a stand mixer, so I do everything by hand here, including my kneading and stuff like that. I'd like to do a stand mixer in the future. Sort of waiting for there to be a decent price on a specific one that I think is expensive right now because of the virus internationally. I think they stopped producing them for... £20 is decent, yeah. There we go, that's about perfect. Got some nice golden color going there. Nice! The specific mixture that I want is both better for streaming, and so you can see what's going on, but it's also heavier duty. The thing is that the stand mixers, they're actually getting pretty cheap on a lot of them these days. It's their durability and their life that's really, and I sort of want an almost commercial level one that is going to last me my lifetime, basically, or at least a good 10-20 years. This is going to be for with the radishes. I'm going to do onions, radish, and the bacon. I'm going to par cook the bacon ahead of time so that we get the bacon fat on the pan, and then just mix everything with the bacon fat and use that, maybe with a little butter with the radishes. Yeah, it's true for pretty much all of them these days. The one I want is an Anarch some. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably mispronouncing that horribly. But it's a Swiss made. Thank you for that follow, Perfect. Radishes. Radishes. I have some radishes here. I think I have some more down here. Yeah. Got 2 weeks of CSA going on here. Tied this. It's sort of like me to do that, but I shouldn't have tied this. Do apologize for the light. It's the time of year when that sun is coming in perfectly into my door here and gives me a nice shine over here so no one can see what I'm doing. I go and pick up a. I normally buy much more from the farmers markets, but I've cut back during COVID, so I've been buying a grab and go box once every other week. And I originally started the stream visiting the farmers market every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday prior to my stream. Oh, I need this bowl. And I didn't set a new timer. Perfectly fine to leave the root on there if you want to leave it on there. I just don't want to munch on it. They're a little bit more artistic that way if you want to go for that pretty plate. Cold water. Smaller ones will halve, larger ones will quarter. Almost tempted to cut this one into 6. I think I will. Definitely trying to sprout on me now. Oh well. Garlic's cannibalizing itself in order to try and get some of the cloves to grow because it doesn't have any moisture or nutrients from the ground. So the inner ones are going soft and shriveling to nothing, while the larger outer cloves are still trying to sprout. That's more the time of year than it is anything else. It's time to plant your garlic. But you do want to pull the sprouts out when you're going to be cooking them, because they're going to be bitter compared to the rest of the garlic. But otherwise it's fine to use it. Come on, I went and... yeah, it was buried in that half. Whereas this one's just the top and bottom. But it does mean you also get a lower yield on your garlic if you have to lose like half of your clove to the sprout. And you lose the ones in the center that aren't. Oh, I'm doing pretty well, Moss. Hopefully you are well as well. Nope, still got one more to go. Grab our second batch of cookies. That was a little bit under the other ones, but I'm going to live with them because I don't want to keep waiting here. They're going to be eatable. Turn the temp up to 400 here. I'm going to move one of these pans of cookies over here to the counter. And put the bacon in for about 15 minutes, which it'll get it most of the way there. Usually I set the temp at 400, but it's still 325. Yeah, I got onions and everything. So it's going to be raising in temp. I normally cook my bacon 400 degrees for 20 minutes. I'm going to do it 15 minutes at raising to 400 degrees. So it's going to be about halfway to slightly over halfway before I mix it in with the radishes. Let's do our battle that I keep forgetting about. And why don't we try haste this time? Bottle. Ooh, we got it that time. Suki with the kills. Congrats. Let's see who gets the scrolls. Congrats, Entropy and Suki. Boss defeated. Took us 3 tries on that map. We got it though. Let's see, we're gonna bottom or top here. We got a loyalty chest up here. And gold chest. I think we do, I'm gonna do this one, but we're gonna go down. And we should see how we do in 30 minutes. We'll want a couple of mobs to go after this one too. We want to get these actually more than bothering about everything else here. Then we can go for everything else after we get the buffs. And if you'd like to join in, the link is now in chat. Let's see what the cookies are like. They've cooled down sufficiently. You had some nice rise out of them, a little bubbly. Nice golden brown bottom to them. I didn't want to get crumbs all over the radishes, but decently soft for still being nice and cooked through. Just a simple, light cookie. It will go with all sorts of things. Would have been awesome with that coffee I had earlier. course, at the same time, almonds are not hugely flavorful. They don't have a ton of... I mean, their flavor is great, and you can tell what the flavor is. You drink almond milk, you know exactly what you're drinking. But it's a mild flavor. It falls into the background very easily. So this will go well with a ton of other stuff, but it's a little plain for me all by itself. So oil, we need to start heating up our oil. I didn't get that recipe over here. I'm going to slice up a little bit of this garlic with our radishes. Do, say, 2 of these. Add all of this in there. I'll just put a cookie, that's fine. Melt some butter for our radishes. Gonna put some ginger in here as well. Throws me off every time that I use that microwave and my earbud stops working. I'm like, wait, what's wrong? Why ain't it working anymore? I have to remind myself that it's a microwave. Why you no grind? Going the wrong way with the grain there, I guess. Butter. Salt and pepper. I like pepper with my radishes on top of just me liking pepper with everything. Little cayenne. Chili powder. Coated in salt, chili, cayenne. There's some garlic and there's onion in there with our radishes. Lots of pepper. We got our marinated chicken from earlier. This has got tequila. This has got lime, obviously. Got a little cilantro in there, and this got onion powder. A bunch of other goodies in there. We got ginger in there. There's no garlic in there, but and do I have a free hotel pan? I do not. So I guess we're going to use this one. Guess we're going to use this. Hopefully that's enough flour for this project. It's about a cup of flour. This is going to be for coating the chicken. But I'm going to have to pick through the chicken a little bit for the pieces. And the rest I'm going to saute for creating the sauce here. So I'm going to get started on that while we're waiting on our bacon. Our bacon's almost done anyways. But I need another bowl for that, I think. Probably be easier to pick out the chicken from everything else in a bowl. Went and grabbed the chicken. I turned the timer off of my clean pinky though. We'll finish up our radishes before we get back to the chicken again. They're gonna have to roast for a minute. So our part cooked bacon. And drain what bacon fat we can here. That's enough of that, I think. Let that bacon cool down a little bit. Still sizzling a little bit. Bacon. pouring out the last of the bacon fat in the pan, or majority of it, into the bacon fat jar. I know I turned off the stove so you can't see what I'm doing, that's why I'm telling you. And these are going to get spread on that pan. Same pan that I was using before for the bacon, so we get all those good crunchy bits on the bottom too. And make sure I get all the raw garlic and stuff out of the bowl, because I have no qualms about throwing this back into the bowl to toss it before serving it. Want to make things are sort of a single layer. There's our radishes and bacon, onion, and all the other good stuff. We're going to throw those in the oven here for a good 35 to 40 minutes. I'm actually going to turn the temperature up on the oven too. Going to 425. We'll see how they look in 35 minutes. Meantime, we're going to take other half of our lime here. We're going to save half of it for garnish, but the other half is going to be squeezed into these radishes. So we're going to put lime juice and cilantro in the bowl so that when the radishes are done, we can just throw them in the bowl, give them a toss, and serve them. Excuse you, Durian. Only nice plushes. Yeah. How you doing, Moss? What's new in your day? Someone was talking about margaritas earlier. What's everyone's favorite choice liquors for their margaritas? I've done Grand Marnier and Hornitos now twice. And I don't know, I haven't ventured a ton in tequila. I'm not really looking to become a tequila drinker, though. Just curious what everyone's favorite combos are. Herbs, general rule. You need more than you think. It's not true with things like anise or rosemary, but parsley, cilantro, those lighter ones, chives, onions, green onions. Put like double. Bet you'll like it more. I mean, let's face it, it's just gonna go brown in the refrigerator if you don't use it anyways. Rosemary's great, but it's an herb that's easy to overpower everything else, and so especially if you're doing it with a mix of other herbs or something, you really want to go light on the rosemary. But it's great flavor all its own. Yep. Oh, a lot of people like rosemary with their steaks. I don't know if steak really has a... I mean, it's... You have styles of steak, which are regional. But as far as rosemary, that seems to be in most of them. Okay, that looks good for our radishes. We're going to need more for our rice now, though. So we'll keep at it. Herb picking with Jason. Blue cheese on steak. It's salty. I like blue cheese. I like steak. I don't know that I necessarily think they're a great combo. On the other hand, black and blue burger is an amazing thing. What combos have I tried? As far as what? But I think of, well, black and blue you can do with steak too, but I think of it as a burger myself. Battle! Battle again. Let's go to battle. Oh, I've had all sorts of types of steak. Let's see how... Oh, it's at our haste. Easy win. Victory. And should be getting those kills. Red Nut with the assist. And should be getting the scroll. Congrats. And on to the next. Wowza. I'm thinking I'm going to start my tank right about here. We'll do... something like that. What upgrades we got? Let's upgrade all this stuff that I never use. I've actually got a quest to use a paladin like 5 times today. I'm not doing it. Need anything new in the scrolls? Yes. Otherwise, no. We'll do the battle in 30 minutes. Okay, this is all looking like stems and not much usable left here. We got a decent start for our rice. I wish I had a little bit more for the rice. I don't have much of a sauce here to put with our chicken. Maybe we'll have a little bit. We'll set this aside for with our rice. Let's chop up the garlic for with the rice too. I will tell you one of my favorite steaks is, you don't find it much in restaurants anymore, but it is one of those classic steaks is steak au pav. I mean, you can find it in some restaurants, but majority of them don't do that sort of thing anymore. They don't get into the fancy sauces anymore. It's too much manpower. Hey, stranger. Going to separate out our pieces of chicken again without the cilantro as much as possible here. And garlic and other lovely things we got going in here in our marinade. Oh, I love me some ginger. Shh, trigger. Yeah, this has been marinated in tequila, lime, soy, and there's a bunch of seasonings and some cilantro that I'm trying to pick out of it for before I batter over here in flour, or coat it in flour. And actually, I'm going to steal the lime from our marinade and use that for our rice. Don't have to worry about it being with the raw chicken since we're going to boil the rice. It's all going to come up to temp. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, you don't even have to have anything acidic in there to marinate. But, I mean, the soy itself will break down proteins if you leave it on too long. There's other chemical compounds that they use in marinades and stuff like that that are great for that too. Like, I forget the name of the actual natural chemical, such as it's in pineapple. Pineapple is great for marinating things. We've got our oil up to 350 here, so I'm shutting that down in temp a little bit. And I need another bowl here. Or I need another pot for our sauce stuff. I don't like putting pots on my cutting board, but we'll live with that one. It's been cleaned since I used it. It's not like it's off of the flame and getting any oil or soot from the flame on the board. Chicken in the wrong place here. In terms of cooking, it's when it breaks down, it's very similar to what it does with cooking. Whether you're marinating with acids or, because I mean you have ceviche when it comes to citrus stuff with seafood. You can essentially cook meat in acid, but essentially you're breaking down the protein fibers. If you think of protein, typically when you have protein, it's in one of two forms. It's either in strands, or they'll refer to it as either coiled, or like I like to think of it as sort of like a ball of yarn. So when you have flour, it's in it's coiled or ball of yarn type setup. When it's in meat, you have your grain, which is actually the direction that the protein strands are facing. And so you're breaking down those strands a little bit so that it becomes more tender. And alternatively, when you're kneading out dough, you are tearing and stretching the fibers into sort of like, if you think of like a cotton material, but it's full of mud. That's sort of what you got for dough, is you're trying to stretch out a cotton matrix. It'll get rid of the chickeny smell, but if you're working with fresh chicken, that isn't much of a worry. Besides, I don't mind the smell of chicken that much. Maybe old chicken. That ammonia smell ain't fun. That's more of a... I don't know where you're getting your chicken. It'll slowly break it down. It won't cook it the way acid will, but soy, several chemicals. Soy is one of them. Soy sauce is one of them. Pineapple juice. Pineapple juice is a little bit more potent. They break down the protein, so you can end up with a sort of like mushy product if you leave it on there too long. Sort of like if you ever had an over tenderized steak, you're just doing that with smaller pieces. So I'm going to cook this down. I'm going to add a little water to this after we get it going though. And then I'm going to thicken that up and use that as a coating for everything else. We have the starts to our rice. Let's measure our rice out. Get that ready. Yeah, let's use basmati again. And he realizes he didn't mute the background. Really smelling those radishes and stuff. Smelling great in here right now. Let's take a look at this. Whoa. Gonna add a bit more salt to this. Gonna add about a cup of water. Allow that to boil and cook that jalapeno a bit. I'm going to add a touch more soy in here too. So we got the lid for the oil right here. I'm gonna put the rice on the back here. Put a lid on that. Let that hang out. Let's see what we got for our flour coating here. We gotta add some other seasoning and spices in here though. We can't just go with plain flour. Let's add in a bit of cayenne, a little garlic, a little onion, white pepper, actually a touch of cumin too. Salt. Pepper. So white and dark pepper there. Or black pepper. Getting all that chicken goodness off of my hands. Got a nice royal and boil going over here for our sauce. Sippy sip time. Cheers. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a couple scoops or put it into here. Allow this to drop any excess flour off just into the sink. Don't need to worry about it then. Or I could do it over the compost, or because I'm not going to reuse the flour after it's been all over this nasty chicken. Let's see what our oil temp is at. Let's make sure our oil temp is up to snuff here before we get going. Okay, we want to be a little bit higher than this. So we're going to bring the oil back up to temp. I think our radishes are probably fine to come out a couple minutes early here. Yeah. Nice. Those are pretty. Need another 70 degrees or so on that, 60, 70 degrees. So it's going to be a second for that to warm up. Surprised our rice isn't bubbling yet. But I'm thinking I can actually already thicken that sauce. So let's get a little cornstarch going here. Rather, let's get the last of the cornstarch, I think. Ooh. Last of this box of cornstarch, rather. Cornstarch, cold water, cold water. Take it straight from the fridge. Maybe slightly too much there in terms of water. Yeah, it's a little thin. It'll work though. On the edge of boiling back here. Yep, not quite there, but close. Get out the baby whisk. We're gonna whisk this in. Little whiskey business. Stealing the term from what's his name. That's quite a bit of starch for that little bit of liquid though too, so that should thicken up just right for this. Yeah, nice. Nice, almost syrup consistency. Need more heat. Gonna need a plate with some paper towel here to catch our chicken when it's done. Gonna turn the back burner off. Thankfully that just slid off, it didn't break. I mean, definitely can turn this down now to just simmer. Start a 10-minute timer to let us know when our rice is done. Although, I think we're going to be more worried with our chicken at that point. Still need to make sure we're at temp. Okay, not yet. Oops. That isn't what I wanted to do. I've also got this green onion chilling in here. Might as well use this up too before it goes bad. Pulling off the older strands, or outer layer, since it's been in there almost a week now. I mean, you notice it's not exactly brand new looking anymore. So we give a little bit of a supermarket revival. Hey, it looks new again. Minus. So we'll throw all that with our rice. That will save for garnish. This will save for garnish. We can toss our radishes in with all this deliciousness now. We get our... This is lime juice. The rest of butter and stuff that we used to originally coat the radishes in. And cilantro. On the pan we have bacon and onion and our breakfast radishes. Give this a toss. Let that all hang out together for a bit. I think that's going to be delicious. Heck yeah. Got our sauce here that I'm going to strain. This was originally our chicken marinade that I added some liquid to and thickened a bit with cornstarch. And so now I'm going to strain out everything that's left in there. Jalapeno, the garlic chunks, a little bit of cilantro was there. All that good stuff. Battle! Did I hear battle time? Did I hear battle time? Still got another 20 degrees. 20 to 40 degrees to go on our oil there, so let's do our battle. Battle. Think we got it. We got a whole bunch down there in the bottom, but drop this sauce goodies into the compost. Victory. Suki getting the kills. Pistachio getting the assist. Welcome in. Who gets the 10 gold? Entropy. Congrats. Yeah, we're going southern route. Get that gold chest and the treasure chest map. Let's start at the bottom, work our way up. See how we do in 30 minutes. Should be wrapping up. This should be the last one of the night. Pretty much there. We just got to do our frying and tossing. We got our sauce here for our chicken. Our radishes are ready. Our rice has got another minute and a half. We're just waiting on our oil. Oh, and also for anyone joining in, We've already made some cookies tonight. Made some almond cookies tonight, Chinese style almond cookies. They turned out lovely. It's a light, crisp cookie. Slightly soft still crisp on the bottom. Got a nice, this is the lightest of them. So light golden brown on the bottom. Just a little tinge on the sides. What did I do with my... No, it's over here. We're still waiting on the oil, though. Rice with... We're going to add the cilantro and the green onion in with the rice. We already got the lime from the marinade in there. We got majority of the jalapeno in there, and we got a whole bunch of garlic in there too. Hey, chili music. You do you? Keep it up, I'll bring them on Friday. I don't know how well they would. I've actually considered. I considered the idea of doing cookies. This was a long time ago. I've seen some people start up doing cookies since then, but I thought a long time ago about the idea of sending out cookies for various things, and I was trying to figure out what is the cheapest way that I could send a single cookie. Then I got into realizing that I don't want to get into the worries of it's California and there's 101 laws, and I'd be at best skirting them. And two, I really don't need an insurance claim without having insurance on food. I mean, you can claim getting sick from just about anything. And I don't even want to think about how much it would cost to have insurance for myself to do something like that. That'd be insane. I mean, granted, there aren't a ton of food insurance claims that actually, go to court and all that, but I don't even want to have to, try and fight one. Or, because, I mean, it generally takes quite a bit actually to make it to court, because you got to be able to, prove things. But, you went to a doctor and you had things done. But there was that, and I was thinking about cheap homemade box styles that I could do and stuff, but it's without even getting into all the logistics of having to figure out how to mail them out and stuff like that, it's just too much. Okay, a couple degrees off. We'll probably be there by the time I sift the excess flour off of our chicken. Oh, this still needs another toss since it's been sitting in the flour too long. Yay, more crust. So we're probably doing at least 3 batches here at this point here. Just to make sure they don't stick together. If they all clump together, they don't cook as evenly either, so you want to move them around in the oil a little bit at the danger of splashing the oil and splashing yourself. Thank you for stopping by, Pancracio. I appreciate it. Thanks for staying high. Rice is done. We'll move that to the back. Move our paper towel over here. Have I done orange chicken? Yes, actually I have. I didn't do it this way though. I've done lots of food this way, but I don't think that I think I did more like large pieces of chicken when I did that. That was almost a year ago too. That picture was well received too. I think I did orange chicken and broccoli. We can do that again. You can do it this way too. But we're going to need something to toss this all in with that sauce. We're not going to use that bowl for that. Sweet and sour I have not done. I've not tried to do that at home. In fact, I don't know if I've ever tried to make the sauce either. Well, sweet and sour sauce, as I've done sweet and sour dishes. Let's see how this... Yep, it's chicken. I'm not bothering with salt at this point because I already salted that flour pretty well, and we got the sauce. So, but this would be the time to salt it if you want to add more salt. Yeah, I've done all sorts. I've done who knows how many dishes of sweet and sour chicken working a wok station in a fast casual restaurant. But as far as actually making the sauce myself and or doing it on stream, I haven't done this. I've done egg drop soup on stream before too. That one's really easy though. That one's, just ribboning eggs into chicken stock basically. We're gonna have to do 4 batches here, I think. With a wok station, you typically have, the one that I was working with was a 3 wok setup. And so you would have one typically filled with oil, and you have your powdering station off to your side. You have all your veggies back behind that. And so you'll start stir frying your veg, have your veg ready to go, cut the heat on that. You'll have your oil ready to go. You do the whole batch of chicken all at once in one large wok, strain that off, strain in the oil into your working oil for the night, and then in the center one you toss that with the sauce, and then you toss the veggies into the saucepan, put it all together, throw it over rice. It's like 30 seconds. And you would repeat that many times. The restaurant I was working at was doing about 3,000 covers on an average weekend night, and which meant I was probably doing in the ballpark of 300 Asian dishes a night, about 1/10 of the menu. It wasn't at a Cheesecake Factory, but it was a Cheesecake Factory-like menu. You got everything going on there. last batch, I'm pulling that away from it so that we don't need that in there. Oil's cooler on me now. I can tell just by the way it's cooking. Yep. We lost 100 degrees there. Let's make sure that this is cooked through. Yep, we're okay. Yeah, I enjoy egg drop. It's just a little simple to do here on stream. I would have to do some other stuff with it, obviously. But egg drop's a good soup. It's actually up there in the soups that I actually would order. But I'd want to do it from a restaurant that actually has a decent broth to it. You know, it's not just, you know, the cash and carry chicken stock. Restaurant Depot chicken stock. Make sure we haven't lost all of our heat on our sauce there. It's getting cool, but yeah, that job working the 3 woks was a lot of fun and very interesting to learn, but it's a lot of freaking work. You're just grinding constantly. It was the type. A lot of these fast casual restaurants now, where I mean, the people on the line don't know the recipes; they just know how to finish the dishes, and then you have an entirely separate crew working in the back of the kitchen that's doing all the prep to fill everything up. And so, like, no one knows entirely everything that's going on unless you're, like, worked your way up through the entire place. Flame off on our oil. Let's add our chicken to the bowl here. We'll toss it in sauce. Rice. Take out our lime. Take out that piece of cilantro, since it's been cooked to death. Add in our veggies. Or herbs. put the lid on the oil so I can forget about it for now. Not have to worry about it at all. And let's plate up. I wasn't sure how I wanted to plate this tonight. I guess we'll go with bowl of rice. Obviously not afraid of cilantro here. I understand that, what, 16% of the population is adverse to it genetically? Something like that? About 1 in 5? Maybe a little less than 1 in 5. Definitely more than are unable to eat gluten. Yeah, that's sanitary style of service right there. Our bacon and radishes, onion and cilantro, and all sorts of other flavors. And there we go. There's our dinner plate. Grab a photo here. How we doing in our last battle here? We almost done with our last battle? Another 4 minutes. Let's give a main view look at this. Deliciousness. And again, I got at least another portion and a half here, a chicken. And this was 2 legs and 2 thighs. So, I mean, if you want to stretch that out a bit, it's the way to do it. Chop it up small little bits, fry it up so you get all that extra surface area. Yummy, crispy. Let's throw a lid on the rice so the rice stays nice. Rice needs more salt. Let's do a plate of cookies. 2. Pretty sure these ones on the bottom are a little bit... they're all basically the same. Thank you, Chili Music. I'm okay with that entropy. I'd be happy to be influential. Taking a look at who all is online here ahead of time, who we can give a raid to once we can finish out that last battle, and I can enjoy my dinner. I think I have an idea where we're headed after this. To battle! To battle! Red Nut's all the way over there. They're not going to get my haste spell, but see how we do. Easy win. Victory. I get all the kills and assists. Yay! Entropy with 10 gold. And we're going to call it a night there. I'm going to collect my scrolls and my 50 gold, which I so need gold. Let's give a raid out there. Let's start a raid here. I'm going to raid one of my regular favorite targets. I'm going to have us all hang out with Rhino Lion tonight. He's continuing to do pottery tonight. Want to thank everyone for joining me. We'll be back here tomorrow night with pizza. Doing pizza on Saturdays during April. And on Sunday we're going to have cheese fondue. First time I've tried doing cheese fondue. Who knows how it turns out. Next week we'll have Taco Tuesday. Whatever wins the ingredient challenge on Wednesday. Friday we're going to be doing eggs Benedict, and Sunday's going to be egg salad. So I hope you all come and join me for that. Until then, I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you again soon. See you tomorrow.